Hello, my name is Charles Bland, and today I want to talk to you about professional counseling skills. You know, the concept of providing soul care or counseling, as it's more formally recognized, to another individual is an awesome responsibility. It's a calling essentially that draws us as individuals to take an interest in and to care for another person in a time of need. How someone goes about doing that, how we provide counseling, is directly related to the approach we take. And oftentimes, this approach to counseling requires a certain skill set. And so today, I want to go ahead and discuss those skill sets with you. Now, the first skill set we want to discuss is the open-ended question. And ultimately, when we talk about an open-ended question, what we're talking about is creating a welcoming environment. We want to establish trust with the client. And so ultimately, by establishing trust with the client requires us to start the conversation and then continue the conversation. And so by having those open-ended questions, you're able to ask someone a question such as, tell me how you felt about that. Or perhaps a question of, why do you think he reacted that way? Or perhaps, how does she make you feel? Beyond the open-ended question, the second skill set is that of encouragement. And so as counselors, we are trusted when a person is in a vulnerable position. They are trusting us to hear them and to help them to work through a problem. So we want to be encouraging in that. It's about confidence. It's about making that connection with someone. And it's important to connect. And so within encouragement is the difference between empathy and sympathy. Meaning, I don't want you, if I'm a client, to feel sorry for me. I just want you to understand how I feel. And that really is the difference between sympathy and empathy. The next skill set is really the reflection of feelings, right? This is where, as counselors, you're able to essentially help the client identify and be understood. Identify the issue that they're facing. But more importantly, I think it's a two-pronged process in which you as a counselor help the person to first find their own identity, identify with themselves, and then secondly, identify that problem. And as you work through that two-pronged process, you then move towards what is the cause, right? So really what you're doing through the reflection of feelings is helping the client to unpack their feelings. And the last skill that I want to talk about is paraphrasing. And this is really active listening at its best, right? It's the dynamics of communication itself. And that is, as a counselor, repeating back to the client what you believe you've heard them say, right? And so you are telling the client essentially what they've told you, but then gives them the opportunity to recognize what they've said and to process it in a healthy manner. The other part of it is to, in regards to watching these demonstrations, was what did we learn? And having gone to counseling myself, I think that I wasn't surprised by this. I really saw the three stages, or the two stages of counseling unfold themselves. And I think that for us is to recognize that counseling is more than this process, right? We have this perception of a C.S. Lewis-like character with a pipe sitting there listening to someone lying on a couch. And really, counseling is no more than the extension of a cup of coffee at the kitchen table, or a conversation on the front porch, or a few people gathered around the water cooler at work, right? And so we go to those stages, and those stages being first, relationship. If you're truly going to help a person and help them to move forward in their life and through their issues, you have to establish relationship. And secondly is the assessment. That's what you're there for. You're the professional. They're coming to you. They're asking for help. And so through that assessment, you help them to identify themselves, identify their problems, and then identify the process by which they can walk through those problems. As we continue this journey, I just want to wish all of you the very best. I want to pray over you now that God would just fill you with blessings, that He would continue to fill your minds with knowledge, that He would lead you in the direction, the path that you have been called to do. Thank you for taking the time to listen to this, and God bless each and every one of you.